Hello, I am Kevin Real ALMOETE, and today we will going to explore our group's art gallery named Sining ng Panlipunan Distansya, Art of Social Distancing. This art will feature different artists and arts. In the middle of this pandemic, we will make a virtual presentation. Are you excited? If yes, let's begin. Focus your screen and let's explore the beauty and riches of the arts.
Fernando Amorsolo, National Artist for Visual Arts, May 30, 1892 to April 24, 1972. The country had its first national artist in Fernando C. Amorsolo. The official title, Grand Old Man of Philippine Art, was bestowed on Amorsolo when the Manila Hilton inaugurated its art center on January 23, 1969. With an exhibit of a selection of his works. Returning from his studies abroad in the 1920s, Amorsolo developed the backlighting technique that became a trademark where figures, a cluster of leaves, a spell of hair, the swell of breast are seen aglow on canvas.
Afternoon Meal of the Rice Workers by Fernando Amorsolo is a beautiful piece. It has a good combination of colors, especially the light ones. The story behind this painting is really the one that is really captivating. It shows how simple but happy the life of our great farmers was. Simplicity was just so perfect of the scene, such an inspiring and heart-touching piece. Everything looks so perfect and it suits to all Filipinos.
Carlos Modesto Villaluz Francisco, a Filipino muralist also known as Botong. Botong was born on November 4, 1912 in Angono, Rizal, and he died on March 31, 1969 at age 56. Francisco was a most distinguished practitioner of mural painting for many decades and best known for his historical pieces. He was one of the first Filipino modernists along with Galo Ocampo and Victorio C. Edades, who broke away from Fernando Amorsolo's romanticism of Philippine scenes. According to restorer Helmut Joseph Zotter, Francisco's art is a prime example of linear painting where lines and contours appear like cutouts.
This painting called Martyrdom of Rizal Moral. It is one of the best known work of Carlos Botong V. Francisco. The mural depicts the execution of Philippine national hero Dr. Jose Rizal at Bagumbayan on December 30, 1896. The mural was commissioned by Port Santiago as part of the Rizal Shrine.
Pilas sa Bigas was made by Vicente Manansala. This very iconic work by Manansala was painted in 1978. It was a social commentary by the national artist as one of the effects of martial law was the rice shortage. The painting size is 36 inches by 48 inches. Vicente Manansala was a Filipino cubist painter and illustrator. He was born on January 22, 1910 at Macabebe, Pampanga, and died at age 71 on August 22, 1981.
Pilas sa Bigas has a 4 or 5 version. This particular version is 1979. His original idea is dedicated an event that was common in the 1960s, when there were massive rice shortages and people had to line up for rice. Vicente Manansala was the developer of transparent cubism. He is known for fusing the cultures of the barrio and the city in his paintings.
Remember, the famous artwork of Napoleon Biloso Abueva was known as the father of modern Philippine sculpture. He was proclaimed national artist for sculpture in 1976 when he was 46, making him the youngest recipient of the award to date. Napoleon Abueva helped shape the local sculpture scene to what it is now. He used almost all kinds of materials for his sculptures such as hardwood, adobe, metal, stainless steel, cement, marble, bronze, iron, alabaster, coral, and brass. He was the first Filipino artist to mount a man-man exhibit at the Philippine Center in New York in 1980. Here is a gun of famous artworks called Siyam na Diwata ng Sining in 1991. The hardened mga diwata take its name from the host of Bueva sculpture piece. Siyam na Diwata ng Sining. This reinforced concrete work represent the 9 muses of art: architecture, dance, film, literature, music, painting, photography, sculpture, and theater. The nude muses spread around atop a ring like the pedestal are rendered in various stanzas. Despite strong formal traces of neoclassical influences, their relaxed poses and generous gestures temper the usual severity that the tradition is known for.
He was Guillermo Tolentino or Bitena, known as Young Elias. He was born on July 24, 1819, Malolos, Bulacan. He died on July 12, 1976, and he was 85 years old. He was buried in the tomb of the heroes. What he used in his sculpture was made of concrete in a simplistic design in his various projects. And this is the oblation statue, or in Filipino, Pahinogod Oblation, which serves as the iconic symbol of the University of the Philippines. It depicts a man facing upward with arm outstretched, symbolizing selfless offering of oneself to his union. The idea for the oblation was first conceived during the presidency of Rafael Palma, who was the one to commission Tolentino to make the sculpture. Palma requested that the statue would be based on the second verse of Rizal Mi Ultimo Adios. As the primary icon of the University of the Philippines, oblation statues are located on the campuses of its constituent universities, often on plazas named Oblation, after the statue in front of many UPs, extension schools in the Abueva Ancestral House. The identity of the person who served as the model of the sculpture has long been subject of speculation.
Pablo S. Antonio, National Artist in Architecture 1976, pioneer modern Philippines architecture. His architecture adapts the Art Deco techniques which is the main modified during his time. His design is based on simplicity and clean structural design. The lines are clean and smooth, and where there are curves, these are made integral to the structure. He believes that function some first before elegance. Antonio's design focuses on the maximum use of natural light and cross ventilation. He strives to make each building unique, avoid abusing trademarks. Antonio himself has been quoted as stating that buildings should be planted with authenticity in mind and its stability forever as the aim of true architecture. That building must be progress, simple in design but defined, true to the purpose without restoring to the upline set of artistic and should interact created truthfully.
Leonardo Locsin was a Filipino architect, artist, and interior designer, known for his use of concrete, floating volume, simplistic design in his various projects. Locsin, born August 15, 1928, died November 15, 1994, at the age of 66. He completed his elementary education in the La Salle College and finished his secondary education in La Salle, and proceed in taking a pre-law before shifting to pursue bachelor's degree in music at the University of Santo Tomas. Although he was a talented pianist, he later shifted again to architecture just a year before graduating.
Construction began in 1966 with Alfredo Hundi serving as a structural engineer and Filipino firm DM Concern as the builder. Originally called the Theater of Performing Arts, it was completed and inaugurated in 1969. Its first major renovation occurred in 2005. For the opening and closing ceremonies of the 112th General Assembly of the Interparliamentary Union held in Manila, included the renovation, recleaning, and replacement of the marble grid, installation of a new air conditioning system, and new carpeting.
Juan Felipe Napkil-Jesus, also known as Juan Napkil, the father of architecture. He was born on May 26, 1899 in Quiapo, Manila and died May 7, 1986 at the age of 87. Napkil studied engineering at the University of the Philippines in 1922 and began his career in 1928 working at Andreas Luna de San Pedro architecture firm and Don Gonzalo Puyat and Son. Later on, he opened his own architecture firm. One of his famous work is
The Quezon Hall was designed by Juan Napkil, our first national artist for architecture who was recognized as a pioneer of modern Philippine architecture. Based the Peristyle concept of the Quezon Hall to the work of architect Eliel Saranen at the Crankbook Art Museum in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. It was also neoclassic in style of the height of classic revival in the early 90s. However, Juan Napkil added some details to make it genuine. Another interesting system Juan Napkil has applied is the installment of floor glass blocks to provide natural light in the basement room of the building.
And this is our virtual presentation, and I hope you learn and enjoy our video. Thank you.